Let's have a straight up conversation man to man. You ever wonder why things don't click with certain women? Why she starts pulling back, losing interest, or keeping you hanging as if you're lucky just to be in her orbit? You put in the effort, you show consistency, you treat her right, yet somehow it's never enough. Here's why. Somewhere along the way, you forgot you're the prize. You stopped moving like the man she should be grateful to have in her life, and you started chasing her like she's the trophy, when in reality, you've been the treasure all along. A man who truly knows his worth doesn't chase what doesn't choose him. He doesn't explain himself to win someone over. He doesn't beg for attention or validation. He moves with quiet certainty, grounded purpose, and an unshakable sense of self. Let's break down exactly what happens when you stop acting like you're trying to get picked and start living like the prize. 1. You set the pace, always. When you're the prize, you lead. You decide the tone, the energy, and the pace of the interaction. You don't sit around refreshing your phone, waiting for her to text first. You don't mirror her mood swings or let her control the rhythm. The moment you start waiting on her, you've already handed her the reins. And when she senses you're chasing, the dynamic shifts. Your value drops. But when you move on your own timeline, with your own purpose, she either keeps up or she gets left behind. And you never slow down. 2. Your presence becomes the reward. Average men give their time and attention freely, hoping it will earn them a place in her life. But a man of value knows his attention is currency, rare and worth earning. You're not accessible on demand. You're not on call to soothe her boredom. You've built yourself to a standard where your presence is meaningful. Not because you're arrogant, but because you've worked too hard to give yourself away for cheap validation. When she realizes she has to earn your time, her behavior changes. Now you're not just another guy, you're the standard she measures others against. 3. You reject low effort energy. When you're in your king energy, you don't waste time on halfway interest. You don't reply to one-word answers, you don't decode mixed signals, and you don't fight for space in someone's life. You observe and decide, does this energy inspire me, support me, challenge me in the right ways? If the answer is no, you walk away. No anger, no drama. Because your time is for those who show up with intention, not for those who treat you like a placeholder. 4. You build instead of beg. When a man who knows his value is disrespected or overlooked, he doesn't beg to be understood. He builds. He invests that energy into his body, his business, his craft, his mission. He stacks wins quietly. And that progress, that evolution, makes his absence felt more than his presence ever was. Because now she sees, you didn't need her attention. You simply offered it. And once it's gone, it's gone. 5. You create clarity instead of chasing closure. You don't need an explanation for why she pulled away or changed. You're not in the business of begging for answers. Her inconsistency is your answer. Her silence is your clarity. You accept the truth for what it is, and you move forward without spiraling. Because closure doesn't come from someone else's words. It comes from the standard you hold for yourself. 6. You measure value by actions, not promises. A woman can say all the right things. I care about you. You're amazing. I've just been busy. But her actions will always reveal the truth. A man who knows his worth watches what she does, not just what she says. If her energy doesn't match her words, he pulls back immediately. He doesn't negotiate with confusion because he understands that mixed signals are already a clear answer. 7. You stop explaining yourself. Once you fully embrace that you're the prize, the need to explain disappears. You stop trying to convince someone why they should choose you. You stop over-justifying your worth. If she doesn't recognize your value, you don't shout louder. You walk away quietly, not in bitterness, but in certainty. Because a man who knows he's the prize doesn't plead, he pivots. 8. You create space for the right energy. Every time you hold onto the wrong woman, you block the right one from entering your life. When you spend your days chasing, fixing, or tolerating, you're draining yourself for someone who can't even appreciate the gift they've been given. When you finally let go, not from spite, but from self-respect, you open the door for women who see you, who match you, who add to what you're building, because now you're not seeking attention. You're protecting your peace. The shift. The moment you stop talking about being the prize and start living it, everything changes. You stop chasing. You stop justifying. You stop breaking your back to earn love that should be given freely. Instead, you build a life where you are the center. Your purpose, your mission, your peace. That's what makes a man magnetic. Not games, not arrogance. Just calm, unshakable confidence rooted in truth. So ask yourself, are you going to keep running after women who don't value you? Or are you going to sit on your throne, knowing you are the standard? Because the man who lives as the prize doesn't just get chosen. He gets respected, desired, and remembered.